Today we're going to be trying out something a little different, something I wanted to do for a little while now, just have never really gotten around to actually recording it and going through with it. And that's going to be talking about the games I played in April. I want to go ahead and reflect on the last month of games I've played and beaten, and I think this is a really good way to do it. I do reviews in my own little Google Docs, talking about every game I beat and my rating for them and how I felt about them, but I feel as though a video for a timestamp of when I beat them is a much better way of doing it. So I thought, why not just try this today and see what it's like. It is coming out a little late, because right now, as of recording this, it is already May 9th. But hopefully I can get this out within the next few days, and it won't be as bad. And the first one is going to be Legacy of Kain Defiance. I give it a 6.5 out of 10, and I beat it on the 5th of April, so I beat it pretty early on in the month, so I already got my first game out of the way pretty quickly. This game was pretty hit or miss for me throughout the entire playthrough until probably the very end of it, and that's basically because of Raziel's POV. The progression loop was absolutely fucking abysmal. Loads of detours at every point, puzzles if you can even call it that, and constant moments of being lost and not really knowing what to do. If I only played as Raziel throughout the entire game, I probably would have enjoyed it more. Even though I didn't like his POV, going back and playing as Kain at the same time made it much worse. I would have loved the game if it was just Kain's POV, and I would have thought the game was good if it was Raziel's. But because it went back and forth, it always gave me that bait and switch, and I always was having so much more fun when playing as Kain that I really was having just no fun at all when I was playing as Raziel. Basically, if this game was only Kain's POV, it probably would have been like an 8 out of 10, but because it wasn't, it dropped it down a good bit. A game isolated to Raziel's POV, like I said, would not be bad on its own, but with this, the gameplay loop and the pacing was just a little rough. The second game I beat in April was on the 13th, and it was Spirit Hunter NG. I gave it a 3 out of 10. I really didn't like this game. I think I've come to realize that visual novels are just really not something for me. I really tried to give it a good shot through Spirit Hunter, but the game was over 10 hours long. It was probably almost 20 or maybe over 20 hours long, and I just couldn't do it, man. It was too long for me. I was hoping for like a 3 to 5 hour experience, maybe a bit under 10, but not over. I was really enjoying this game in the first 3 to 5 hours, but when after you hit that double digit mark, it got to be a little too much of just the constant stalling in conversations and them lasting way too long. It's like if you're writing an essay and you're trying to extend out the like word count. That's how it felt trying to fucking get through this game with the shit I was reading. It was like, hey, are we really saying this for like the 15th time? Or just saying things that are stupidly obvious? We don't fucking need to. The exposition dump would be insane. The constant conversations of them just seeming dumb because I have to say this shit out loud. It got me to lose my mind, and in the final few hours of the game, I straight up just sped right through it. Third game of the month was beaten on the same day. I beat it in one sitting, and that was the Gunk. I gave it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't really a bad game, but it wasn't anything too special. You basically just fight this thing called the Gunk. That's really all it is. Basically, this you are this girl with another girl, and you guys are definitely in like a hit or miss relationship. And you go to this random planet because you're trying to make money and you're trying to make a living off salvaging stuff from planets. And so you go there and you find this thing called the Gunk. And you realize it is basically taken over and is eating away at the planet that exists there. All the civilization is like in cryo freezing because like one person of their people like manipulated everyone into thinking they were doing the right thing. So yeah, it was a pretty good game. It just wasn't anything extremely special, I'd say. So it keeps it at a 6, and it was only like, I don't know, maybe like a 6-hour game. It really wasn't long at all. The fourth game I beat this month, and was actually the first platinum that I earned this month, was Terminator Salvation. I got it on the 15th. I got the first platinum for it because you get the platinum for just beating the game. And I gave it a 4.5 out of 10. It was not a good game. It was definitely below average. Any right person, any normal, non-biased person would probably give it like a 2 or a 3, but I give it a 4.5 because I'm a huge Terminator fan, and Terminator Salvation was one of my favorite movies I've ever watched. When it came to the Terminator movies, I don't know why it was like that for me, but it is. But this didn't follow that story at all, which I was a little shocked. It's in like the same world and all, but it's called Terminator Salvation, and it has nothing really to do with the movie. They have the voice actor. They have the guy who voice acts John, or the guy who is John Connor in the movie, voice acting in like the first cutscene of the game, and then it switches to some random fucking actor, some random voice actor. Doesn't look anything like the actual actor in the game as well. It didn't make any fucking sense to me. It was really weird. I didn't get it at all. But it was an okay game. It was honestly really easy on hard difficulty. I really didn't find myself struggling at any point. It was weird. It was an interesting game, but the story was fucking hot ass. It really was. They should have stuck with the movie, probably, I'd say, but they decided not to. The 5th game I beat in April, pretty big one for me, was Borderlands 1. I beat it on 420. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. This is up there, man. This is competing right now for the best Borderlands game out there. I honestly could not believe how much fun I had playing this game. It's insane. There's parts in Borderlands 2 that feel slow and sluggish. There's not a single point like that to me in Borderlands 1. The parts that I think are going to be slow and sluggish, I play through them, and they're not. So it's like, it plays so much more different than I thought it would. And I did like every fucking side quest in this game that I could on my first playthrough, because I was just having that much fucking fun playing it. So this might be the best Borderlands, man. I just did the platinum for Borderlands 2 recently, and I'm gonna have to think about what I feel about that game. And we are gonna get a dedicated video. I am gonna put out a dedicated video for Borderlands 1 and 2. It's going to come, but Borderlands 1, yeah, that video is gonna be out soon. This fucking game was amazing. Be on the lookout for a video for that is coming out very, very soon. I'm excited for that. It blew my mind with the nostalgia that I had with it. It's just, god damn, man. This game was so fucking good. The gunplay's fun. The only thing that's really bad for the gunplay is probably these snipers. These snipers feel downright unusable in this game. They really do. And I had a big ammo problem. I did notice that. The problem is I just had to get my ammo upgraded. It's really just a problem in every game until you start to do that. Something I really like about this game is that it feels like it's not dragging on at any given point or going on unnecessary detours like pretty much every other Borderlands game that's out there. Like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and Borderlands 3 were horrible for that. I'd fucking hate when I feel like it's just right there and then, oh, of course, something happens and now you got to take like a 20-minute detour. That shit pissed me off. But my 6th game that I beat this month was Those Who Remain. I beat this on the Xbox. I think it was through Game Pass, I think that's how I played it. I beat it on 421, so I beat it the day after. I was beating games pretty rapidly in April, I gotta say. This month, it's not going to be that case. But I gave it a 4.5 out of 10. It was another mid game. It really was. It was like a weird horror game. It was weird. It was definitely a janky but lower budget game. And it still scared the shit out of me at times, but its jankiness really took me out of the scary moments a lot of the time. And the story was, I don't even know, man. The story was nothing special at all. I did get the bad ending for judging characters and not forgiving them, but I mean, some characters I felt the need to judge them, so it was pretty interesting to get the bad ending, because I think I only judged one of the characters. Otherwise, I gave all of them forgiveness. The checkpoints in this game were just complete ass, and at times I'd be sent back over fucking 10 minutes for no good reason, just because the encounter I had was awkward and hard to understand the first go around. And I really hate getting stuck in these kinds of games, and it sadly was happening for me in this one just constantly, man. It was over and over for me. It's not nearly as bad as a game like Visage, where I was literally walking around for like 40 minutes and couldn't figure out what to do. but it was still pretty bad. There was also a glitch in this game for me where the floor of the map, it wasn't even a glitch. It was a straight up design, which was really interesting. They did like a thing where the floor of the map phased in and out, and you had to get on these platforms that were only on certain spots. But if you died, the checkpoint system was so ass in this game that they sent you back to the beginning of the map. So you ended up just falling through the fucking floor because there was no floor. That was insane. How do you let that get by? How do you not think this point right here should be a checkpoint, because if they respawn, they're just gonna die. Or at least fall to the void. It was really stupid of me. The last game, though, that I beat in April was Zombie, and I beat it on the last day of the month. This game is a 6.5 out of 10 for me. I actually really did enjoy this game, but it did have some pretty bad moments towards the end. Some really bad moments towards the end. And it had this one zombie with a fucking... It was basically a kamikaze zombie. A jihad zombie. I don't even know. Like, he just had a bomb on him, pretty much. It was like a nitros thing or something on his back. I don't really know what. A propane tank. And he would just get close to you and blow up, or you kill him and he'd blow up. And you're just dead. Like, you're just gonna die. A zombie just hitting you pretty much kills you. But him blowing up, you're fucked. And then you gotta switch survivors over and over again. And they do a Souls-like system where you basically just... If you don't get back to your one body with all your loot in it, your guns, your ammo, your fucking melee weapon, your meds, if you die before you get to that, that's just all gone. And it's just like, why the fuck did you decide to do something like this? Where did you get this ridiculous idea to do something like this? It doesn't make any sense to me. I really didn't understand why they did it, and it fucking pissed me off when it was introduced to that zombie, because at that point, I was pretty much... I literally didn't die once until that zombie showed up, because I didn't know he existed, and they didn't do an introduction or anything with him. And then I just started dying over and over again after that, because I had no loot anymore. I had nothing good. And then when I finally got something good, I'd probably just die to that guy again. Like, that's just how it played out. And then I wouldn't be able to get my shit back because I'd have basically nothing in my chest. It was really fucking annoying. The story's nothing to write home about. I don't even really know what the fuck the story is. You gotta, like, you're trying to find a cure, but then the guy dies, and then you bring the cure somewhere. I really don't know what the story is for this game. After playing through it, I still couldn't tell you. It was a really weird game, but it was an interesting zombie game nonetheless. I just have no idea what the fuck it was. I also did technically beat Borderlands 2 in April. I don't really know when I beat it, because for my platinums, I don't really give them a timestamp or anything or do reviews on them. But at some point, I did do the platinum for Borderlands 2, and I did have to beat the game entirely again to do so. So I guess I technically beat the game in April as well. And that game was amazing. Probably right there with a 9.5 or even a 10. That's something I gotta figure out. It's either on par with Borderlands 1 in the rating, and one of them nudges over the other, but like by the smallest smidge, or it's better. Simple as that. But it was an amazing game. Handsome Jack is one of the best villains to ever exist. You're basically a vault hunter after the original vault hunters, and Handsome Jack is like taking over all of Pandora pretty much, and he's trying to wipe out the old vault hunters and pretty much all the normal sane people for the most part. And then he's just trying to open the vault, and that's how he's going to wipe out pretty much everything and take over the entire planet. The pre-sequel pretty much explains why he's even doing this in the first place. He was betrayed, and now he's like, fuck all of you, I'm going to kill you all. That's pretty much how it is. And Handsome Jack was just such a fucking good villain. He was funny, he was serious, and he was fucking like intimidating. He was perfect, he really was. But yeah guys, that is all the games I beat in April, and that is going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching. Be on the lookout for a Borderlands 1 video, like I said, in the near future. And also be on the lookout for games I beat in May. It'll definitely be shorter, because I don't think I will have beaten nearly as many. But be on the lookout for that. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.